Arif, how many rounds of testing does it typically take you to get to the best performing emails? And so let's say you started working with a new client. Your first
Yeah.
batch is a test for 300. Typically, how many rounds does it take until you're like, oh, confident that you've got something here, or confident that you've got nothing?
45 days, is roughly the timeline because you spend 15 to 20 days setting up the email infrastructure and building
Hmm.
them. And then you test for 2 to 3 weeks. And you don't have to
Hmm.
test one message at a time. So you can add all the variants, you can add different, you can just change the subject lines, you can change the offer. So you can add multiple variants, and within 45 days you'll have a good understanding on whether it is landing or not.
And if it's not landing, what do you then do?
So sometimes if it is not landing, if the offer is weak, then probably I'll add a document. I'll probably send them a document saying that, hey, you know what, if I'm in e-commerce, I'll send them a document which is more like 3 or 4 pages of generic uh, but valuable data that I'll send them. Hey, you know what, these are the top 20 companies. These are the digital initiatives that they have taken, for example, if it is relevant for them and if it is relevant for what I'm offering. So I'll try to build a lead magnet and send it to them in the second email or third email. And good thing is you can reach out to them if you space it out. It's not like you reached out to them and they haven't responded and they are gone. So you can always go back to them after a month or 2 months, and
Mm.
then
Yep.
yeah. So it's
Yep.
like nobody remembers. So you don't have to worry about burning contacts.
Arif, what's your take on follow-ups? Can you share a little bit of information on how often to follow up, what kind of content you should be sharing, the cadence? A little bit more on that would be helpful.
Yeah. So in my opinion, uh, an email sequence should have hardly 2 to 3 uh, emails. If not, you don't have to throw away the contact. Add them to a separate campaign with a different messaging. So having 4 or 5 follow-ups will drastically increase your spam rate because
Hmm.
they are not resonating with your message, but you are following up with them again and again and again. And typically, the difference between first email and second email would be typically 2 days or 3 days max. So you'll be able to reach out to them within a week. That is 2 to 3 times, and that's it. If they are not responding, move on to a next campaign with a different message altogether. Yeah. So that would be better instead of following up more, or reach out to them on a different. Uh, so the way I'm doing it with Leap AP now, which is very good, which is performing very good, is you send an email, wait for 2 days, and then call them. So that is that
Hmm.
that has and it is more like the call is like a follow up to the email, like,
Hmm.
hey, you know what, I sent an email. Did you have an opportunity to look at it? I'm calling you from that regard. So it doesn't feel awkward, and you have an icebreaker ready for you. So you can take the conversation from there.